What's up, dudes? It's Josh, and today I'd like to talk to you about your house's water pressure. Do you know the water pressure in your house at this very minute? Chances are probably not. Should you be worried about it? Also probably not, but let's learn about it a little bit. If you're in an apartment, you probably don't care at all because it's someone else's water. 2, if you're on a well, the pressure is the pressure of your well pump. Pretty easy. 3, if you're on city water, your pressure is probably whatever the city's giving you. And what's to keep the city from pumping the crap out of your house with pressure? Well, nothing. Except for if you have a P.R.V. So what's a P.R.V? A P.R.V stands for pressure reducing or pressure regulating valve. And what it does is it protects you from overpressure from your municipality. So if your city is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, your utility company might turn up and up and up the pressure, and that could put you in a weird situation as a homeowner. So the P.R.V protects you from overpressurization and keeps the pressure regulated. What's dangerous about that? Well, if you have too high of a water pressure from the city, then your fixtures could be damaged by that, or you could be at risk for blowing out your fixtures and flooding your house. Now, is this something you should be deathly worried about? Probably not, but it's something that you should be thinking about. If you own your house, you own your water system, you probably need to know what's going on. Do you have to have a P.R.V? No, you can take whatever the water pressure the city gives you and you'll be good. Recently, I've been having problems with waterhammer inside our house, which is like banging on the pipes, and I was thinking it was because of the pressure being too high. So I took on the adventure of doing it myself. Enjoy the video. Let's go do some stuff. So, starting off with our copper pipe, we're going to solder this one on, and you need an isolation valve. This is a threaded 3/4 inch isolation valve. So putting that guy on with it, that's going to get Teflon tape. I'm going to dry fit it right now just to show you how it gets built. Then you got 3/4 inch hex nipple. That's going in there. Then I have a 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch kind of fitting, and it has a 1/4 inch. This is a T. This 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch by 1/4 inch T, and that T is for the gauge that I'm putting on, and this will allow you to get the pressure, reading off of there. Here's a winter's pressure gauge, and it's 3/4 inch, or it's 1/4 inch, so it just goes in there. Teflon tape as well. Next is our P.R.V, and now this P.R.V, make sure you have it the right direction. There's an arrow on them. To get to that, we had to have a 3/4 inch nipple again. You can get them with all types of configurations, but this one's threaded on one side. So one connection is just completely threaded. The other side is a union. So what that is a 2-part thing. So you can set, and it helps it so you can service this in the future. 2 parts is this, clamping fitting, and it has a gasket on there that goes right flat against it. So that goes flat against there and creates a seal. And the way that stays on there is this kind of retaining ring slips over top of it, right? And that gets tightened. And then your connection out of here is threaded. It's threaded on this side. So on the outside, want to get to another T. So this will be able to tell you your pressure downstream of the pipe, so you are downstream of this valve, so you can determine if it's doing its job. And finish that off with a connection back to our copper. So the finished thing looks like that. It's kind of a lot, but planning to build it down so I have a lot of space to kind of rotate all these. The plan is
to take everything out, to put everything together right here on the bench, except for this area right here, because this connection will be essentially the final connection here. Those get butted together and this gets slid together. So we take our two pipes and put it like that. That needs to be the final connection because that's the one that can be undone and redone to service it.
Now headed on down to the spider pit of my crawl space. Now looking for a spot to put this. This is going to go after my hose bibs take off from the main water input to the house, after the water meter. And you want to make sure you have a straight run and enough space to rotate this. Making my cut here and get ready for water. You want to make sure to get all the water out of this line because water in the line while trying to solder is not good. With the pipe cut, just go ahead and start prepping it for solder with deburring, cleaning, scraping, sanding, all the fun stuff. Adding flux. Adding flux to the fitting. Now this fitting did not want to go on there, man. I had to take it off and mark, how far it needed to go in just to make sure I pushed it enough. Getting a little bit better with my heat mat setup. I put a screw in to hook the corner on there. And this part's important. Make sure you knock your camera over so you don't get the shot of me soldering. It's a decently terrible, solder job, but I don't know. With that part on, I'm going to head and put the Teflon tape on the end. Now this is the threaded side of it. And that's going to allow you to, also putting pipe dope up there because I'm crazy. That's going to allow you to put your whole assembly on, man. You're going to spin the whole thing around there. This is the work you save by doing it on the bench. Getting the 2 wrenches here to get it on there tight. Now you want it tight, but you want to make sure to not put a bunch of stress on that soldered in thread joint. So I went ahead and brought in the big dogs and brought my vice grips here to kind of help out a little bit turning it. Yeah, just be gentle. To strap it up, I put some more plumber's tape up there. Now I want to go ahead and say I took the plumber's tape off of that copper spot because of electrolysis. You don't want it on there, but brass is okay around the body of this to keep it from moving. Now this part's important. You want to make sure you cut, keeping in mind your insertion depth on your pipe. So you can see my cut line there, because you want it to be right up against your gasket connection, your union connection there. And prepping everything the same way. I know it's boring, but it's important. Make sure to do all these steps. Speaking of steps, this next one is absolutely critical. Make sure you knock over your camera again and miss the solder shot. What a bonehead. Well, maybe I can get it in the fire extinguisher here. Crappy resolution, engage. Just absolutely nothing usable and light from a flashlight. Sorry about that, guys. Solder joint was okay. Adding the Teflon tape for this last part, and I also covered this up with my head too, but you can see what's going on. This is the part with the gauge, the T, and make sure that clamping ring is on there before you do this part. So just threading it on to the second sweat to NPT joint, tightening it up, bringing out the big, don't look at that face. Fiberglass in the eyes. And here's an important part. That's the gasket we're talking about. It goes against that flat surface. and make sure it gets centered up right. And then your clamping ring, your union ring, is going to go thread right onto that connection there. And since you can't really do anything but hold the valve steady, I just clamp the entire valve body to get that last few turns on there. And then it's installed, man. The final flyover shot. Got your valve, your gauge, PRV, gauge again, and transitioning back to copper. Let's try it out. And that's not the sound you really want to hear, or the sight you want to see.
I'm gonna have to unscrew something and screw it back on. It must be a leaky gasket or something.
Okay, let me know when you need me.
The gasket was on there sideways. All I do was take it off, put it back on straight, and it worked. I don't have footage of that, but turn on the pressure. It looks like you can see the PRV set to like 45, so that's a good pressure now. At the end, I went through and put some more supports in. That's kind of an anti-rattle support, and this is more just another keep it steady support, in addition to the super crappy rusted support that I had before. Oh, that's all my footage, so I guess this is the end of the video. The PRV is still holding up well. It's taken my pressure down to 45, and that's eliminated my water hammer problem that I was having, so that is a win for me, and I feel a little bit more confident with plumbing, soldering, and having my house not blow up from over water city pressure. All right, that's it. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. So next time, this is Josh saying, get out there and go do some stuff.